Welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2012 look at the NCHSAA playoffs. Now we're going to take a quick look at a couple of teams in the 3AA playoffs. Big game that has happened many times in the past. I've attended several A.O. Brown Catholic games in the playoffs. They've met several times in the third round. This time A.O. Brown 10-3, facing Catholic at 11-1. My just quick observations about this game. Max Preps is calling a 44-43 A.O. Brown win. I've seen Catholic twice this year. I saw them play Country Day, and I saw them play Olympic. And Country Day beat them with the feet of their quarterback and passing, and the quarterback also making plays running the ball. Olympic had a lot of success running the ball against Catholic. It was another one of those games that Harris had almost 300 yards rushing, and Olympic piled up a lot of yards rushing, but Catholic piled up a lot of yards rushing. So what I'm bringing that out because A.O. Brown has a very, very good running back, as we mentioned in our recap. And if you can run the ball, it's my belief you can pile up yards against Catholic. We saw the Weddington game that Weddington had success offensively against Catholic. They didn't get as many scores. They only got 14 points, excuse me. I think Brown's got a lot more dynamic offense. And I don't know if dynamic's the right word. They've got a more powerful offense than Weddington. Yeah. What I saw of Weddington, that was my one question mark, if you remember last week, was can Weddington put the points up? I felt like they might have put together a decent defensive game plan, which it turned out they couldn't. Hood had a phenomenal ball game, 323 yards, I think it was, 19 carries, 4 TDs, and that's what Catholic's going to have to face this time around. That's what Brown's going to have to face this time around. Brown, on the other hand, Phillips had a real big ball game, 7 TDs. I forget the stats now. I could go back and look, but it was 300 and some odd yards as well that he had against Marvin Ridge. So they've got the run game. Most of what I know about Brown this year is about their run game and that kid at the running back. I don't know a lot about their passing ability. Hopefully Coach Harmon will be able to tell us a little bit, fill us in a little more on those areas. But I feel like if Kannapolis can run the ball as well as and effectively as they did against Marvin Ridge, they could win this ball game. It's going to be tough going into Keffer Stadium too.
Yeah, and it'll be a great environment, like it always is, especially for these two traditional teams here. Catholic is going to run the ball. Brown gave up 55 points last week to Hickory Ridge, a heavy run team, and I don't see them slowing Catholic down. I think Hood will have another awesome game. The question is, can the Catholic defense slow Phillips down? And like you mentioned earlier, teams can run on Catholic. I think that Catholic will be able to slow Brown down a little bit. And I only say that because I don't, and like we're going to ask Coach Harmon here in a second, but I don't think A.O. Brown can throw it enough to force Catholic to maybe commit a lot of resources to stopping the pass. I think they'll play up and they'll force them to try and throw it. And I don't think they're going to have enough success to win the game. I think they may be able to hit a couple big plays, but I mean Catholic with the run, they're going to grind it. They're going to control the clock, and I think they'll take the ball out of A.O. Brown's hands, and I think they'll win it by 2 scores.
Yeah, Khalif Phillips, 7 touchdowns last week, and once you see him up close in person, he looks kind of like an Elijah Hood type kid when you see him down there. He looks like he's wearing pads even when he's not. And, they're going to have to rely on him big time to help move the football, obviously. Now, stretching the field, though, they got to also get Keon Johnson involved more. I think he only had 28 or 30 some catches on the year. Another tremendous athlete. When you see him, you just don't believe he's a high school wide receiver. He's thick, he's rangy, he's really fast. Brown didn't really have a passing game that allowed them to stretch the field a whole lot. But that fits into the type of offense they run with their play action passes, and they slowly set you up, they lull you to sleep, get you to creep everyone up when you're getting tired of all those dives going for 4 or 5 yards. So are they going to have enough success running the football to have to get Catholic to draw in the defenders more, and then be able to use some of those play action passes and everything where they don't have to rely on having a tremendous passing game where they're going to have to be super accurate and everything else, but instead it can set them up basically a Catholic style game plan. That's how I kind of see this playing out. It's kind of who can execute their own better. I mean, because you're not going to see 4 wide spread out from either one of these teams here. You're going to see it's a similar type of game plan that's going to be happening. The question is whose game plan is going to work longer, because neither one of these teams can get behind by 2 or more touchdowns. If they do, it's going to cause some trouble. If I had to pick somebody in this, I'm still going with Catholic. I think this is a 31-17 type ball game. Maybe it should be a little bit closer. A.L. Brown has, gotten refocused, but they're giving up a lot of points. And I know they're young in some areas. I know they've had injuries, but when you're going to the 3rd round, going to face Catholic for the 2nd year in a row, and you're